This is Charter Local Edition. I'm Brad Pomerance. We're in the San Gabriel Valley today, and we are joined by Victoria Martinez. She is the Mayor Pro Tem of the City of El Monte. And I want to speak about the city and a specific issue, but let's frame this city for our viewers. Tell us a bit about El Monte.
Great question.
Yes.
As a representative of El Monte,
Right.
I like to consider myself an ambassador.
Well
right?
stated.
We are at the heart of the San Gabriel Valley,
Right.
a transportation hub where we've got Metrolink, we've got a metro station in El Monte, we've got an airport, we're surrounded by freeways, the 10, the 605. We represent about 115,000 residents.
That's a good number. That's a real size city.
Big city.
Right.
Big city. I think we're rated 8th in the San Gabriel Valley.
Okay.
You know-
And how large is El Monte?
10 square miles. So you know what? You start from one end. It's going to take you a little while to get to the other side of El
But
Monte.
it's dense. It's dense.
It is. Absolutely. We've got a lot of folks living in this space.
And tell us about the folks in terms of economic diversity, ethnic diversity. Tell us about your residents.
The city of El Monte is primarily Latino, but we're experiencing a shift. Yes, we are experiencing an influx of Asian residents.
Right, the San Gabriel Valley is a whole rich
Completely.
experience of Asian immigration.
Wonderful
Right.
with regards to Vietnamese,
Right.
Chinese. I mean, it's really creating this incredible vibrancy for us as a community. When it comes to communication, Brad, our communication as a city had been English and Spanish. And now we're finding ourselves wanting to communicate to our residents English, Spanish, Mandarin, Cantonese, Tagalog,
Right,
Vietnamese.
right.
It is expanding, and guess what? So are our choices within this community because businesses are choosing to come in to our community. We've had Mexican restaurants forever, Cuban,
Right. Puerto Rican,
Peruvian,
whatever it is.
Salvadorian, but now we've got incredible Chinese food. We've got Vietnamese food, an incredible Vietnamese
I like
restaurant.
it.
Next time you're in El Monte, I'll take you.
Tell me about the economic diversity. Does it tend to be kind of a nice middle class area? Is there some upper class, some more challenged areas?
That's a really great question. You know, we've got, I would say, an upper middle class portion of El
Okay.
Monte, but the majority is severely underserved.
Oh, really?
And we are really struggling because our communities and our families are struggling. So those folks who have bought their homes and have lived in their homes for years, doing great, but we've got a certain big population in our community that find themselves transient or homeless. Several families living in under one roof. It's tough right now. The economics not only in El Monte, but I would say in the San Gabriel Valley are really, really
Well, the
tough.
San Gabriel Valley is not far from San Bernardino County, and we know that county was hit very hard by the economic recession, and so some of that has bled further west.
Oh, El Monte, we were suffering from some of the highest rates of unemployment. We as a community and as a council, we host one of the largest job fairs in the San Gabriel Valley every June because it's our people who are having trouble finding jobs.
Now, as a result of that relative lack of economic diversity,
Sure.
what we often find, and this is not unique to El Monte, but it can be difficult to attract certain types of businesses,
Yes.
often larger chains,
Yes.
which could be a blessing and a curse, but be that as it may. And it can be particularly acute as it relates to food.
That's so perfect.
And I want you to give me a sense about what that looks like in El Monte. We've learned this concept of food deserts.
Yes.
Give me a sense of that, Victoria.
So the city of El Monte and in our community, we've experienced having brand name retailers, the Albertsons, the Vons, the Ralphs. They were all in El Monte at a time. And unfortunately, they've all chosen to leave. We found that it's really tough to sustain that mainstream provider. And we've found that some of our retail chains that are specific to certain ethnic groups have come in. So we've got a Northgate market that thrives in the city of El Monte. We've got a Food for Less. We've got a Superior Market who came in recently. We've also got the Smart and Final and the Sam's Club. But there was a real sense of loss as some of those businesses left El Monte. Not only did they take the what was perceived as quality brands out of our community, they also took jobs, and that was tough to watch them go.
But as I understand it, I mean, you do have Sam's Club and Northgate, but what can often happen is when you don't have a certain caliber of market, you lack fresh fruits, fresh vegetables, meats. Is that a problem in El Monte, or are you seeing that through these big box stores, we can call them?
Some would say that we still do experience a food desert. Being able to access that, that fresh fruit market, that easily accessible to our residents, is it available off of a transportation line? These are some of the questions that we have to ask ourselves as we're providing transportation and real life solutions. We're finding that our families, it's much easier to buy foods that have preservatives. And when you buy food that have preservatives, those preservatives not only stay on the shelves longer, they stay in our bodies longer. And when they're staying in our bodies longer, we find ourselves dealing with an obesity problem.
And that is what we know is happening in a lot of communities that find the lower end of the economic spectrum be predominant. And with obesity comes cancers and diabetes and heart disease. But I know that El Monte is part of the Healthy Cities Initiative.
We are.
And what I love about what you're doing is you're looking at healthy cities and healthy living from a different lens, a lens of that tremendous ethnic and economic diversity.
Thank you so much for saying that. We've got what we call the hashtag Healthy El Monte movement. So everything that we do right now, whether it's opening up a fresh new restaurant, hashtag Healthy El Monte. If it's exercise programs, hashtag Healthy El Monte. Having the opportunity to provide fresh, experiences and culturally diverse experiences is what we're faced with now as an ever-changing community.
And you had mentioned to me that not only do you look at ethnic and cultural diversity through the food lens, but also through the exercise lens. It's such a unique element.
Right? So now we've got so many women doing Zumba.
Right.
But we've also got a whole population doing Tai Chi.
Oh, yeah.
In the park on a Saturday morning, which is beautiful. We're bringing in yoga to our senior center and working on our flexibility. We're having children do yoga, getting them exposed to different forms of exercise, where we used to just run, jump, and play dodgeball at school in PE. Sometimes these aren't even available anymore. So soccer, football, but also some non-traditional ways of exercise.
You got to come back. Will you come
I'm,
back?
I'm loving this.
Okay,
Absolutely.
Her name is Victoria Martinez. She is the Mayor Pro Tem of the city of El Monte in the San Gabriel Valley, where we are today. My name is Brad Pomerance. You're watching us on Charter Local Edition.